Very first thing I'd like to say is I think you guys are going to enjoy this. This one is, again, Aggressive Recon highlights, but I kept mostly the great clips. I didn't really edit out a lot of kills unless there were long time in between them, but for a lot of these clips here, they're not. They're continually 5 shots, 5 headshots, clips like that, so I think you'll enjoy them. Anyway, if you don't know me, my name's Pick6, and today on subscriber request, I'm going to give you guys at least what I use to get a lot of kills when using the Recon class in Battlefield 3. Many people have trouble getting more than just a few kills, so I thought I'd give you guys tips on what I use to get more kills. First of all, a common problem I've recognized when I watch a lot of rookies is that immediately the main problem they have is staying in one place too long. Sniping and, well, pretty much any attacking strategy requires reading your opponent's strategy and making adjustments on the fly as the match goes on. This comes with practice. It's somewhat difficult for me to explain exactly how I go about doing this because it's become instinct, but I'll try my best to give you guys tips that you can use. First, sniping should be dependent on the map. For example, Operation Firestorm, especially in Conquest, won't present a ton of opportunities to snipe because of the vast amount of vehicles in the map, unless it's in rush mode and a lot of them decide to snipe from the top of that mountain. However, the beginning of Operation Metro in rush mode is a spectacular map to rush. So basically the first point I want you to get out of this is the map will determine whether you should choose Recon or not at all. Some maps you could be a great Recon sniper with great tactics, but you're just not going to see many people. You'll see mostly machines. The first tip to do with reading, strategies is to read your minimap. This is the most important point of advice I can give you. I usually spend about 50% of the time watching the environment and the other 50 quickly checking the minimap. I'm always scanning it for hidden enemies or ones I just haven't seen. Hope your teammates spot because this helps you unbelievably, like I said in my previous video. The minimap also tells you more than where the enemies are located. If you're playing Conquest, read where the enemies are by locating the flags that they have. That's the only place where they can possibly spawn unless you're talking about their opening spawn point. So you'll know that they're around these areas being the flags they've taken or their original spawn. If you're playing in the mode Rush when attacking, they'll obviously be at their deployment or they'll be attacking MCOMs. If you're on defense, stay near the MCOMs because they obviously must attack these in order to win. If you're not going to stay near them, at least stay within targeting range of the MCOMs because that's your obvious point of where they're going to head. If you're headhunting for kills and playing aggressive, make sure you're staying at or near the perimeters of the map. You want to lessen the amount of angles you can be seen or shot from, and having an edge of a map to your back or an inaccessible building near you, you limit the amount of area you can be attacked from. Avoid staying in the middle of the map, even if buildings are present, because there's simply too many attack angles and flank routes that you can be attacked from. If you're going to move around, move from cover to cover and never stay in the open for long stretches or in one period for long stretches. More on this in a second. Normally the high ground is great for snipers and I'm no exception. I frequently use the high ground. But bear in mind, staying there for a long time is never a good idea because by shooting or killing people, you'll give away your location. This also opens you up to revenge kills. If you get the idea they're going for revenge kills, relocate to an area they probably wouldn't expect. In other words, flank them. If they are, which more than likely they will, be busy fighting your teammates, or perhaps they still think you're up on the building. This is the time where you can flank them and get several kills before they even know where you are. Always try to figure out what the enemy is trying to do, their attack strategy I mean. Never run around without a purpose. Some teams will play defensive, some will be very aggressive. Once you figure out what the play style is, this should influence your play style. For example, if they're bunched up defending flags, stay back at a medium distance and snipe them. Rushing into their territory with the Recon class wouldn't be a good idea. If they're playing aggressive and attacking MCOMs or flags relentlessly, find an area they wouldn't regularly check and you can see the objectives to snipe and defend it. In conclusion, If you're not sure how to read or cannot figure out where the enemy is attacking or what style they're using, the best default strategy is to just position yourself near an objective and wait for them to come to you. Basically just play defensive if you're not sure. Conquest is more difficult to get high amount of kills sniping because of the changing of possession of flags and the numerous amount of vehicles. Some of these strategies may sound vague, but they work for me, and trust me, once you understand exactly what I'm talking about through tons of practice, you'll know exactly what I mean. Kills will start racking up for you. It just comes with practice. I'll be putting out a tutorial in the near future that talks all about rushing strategies. Everything you need to know from playing aggressive, playing defensive, using flank routes, moving from cover to cover, what perks, what guns, what attachments, everything you need to use. And of course they'll be applying to recon as well. They won't necessarily apply exactly to recon, but basically there's an overlap for any single class that you're going to choose, so it will apply to recon. Basically the tip is, if you're going to be attacking with the recon class, try to keep it at your advantage. And what I mean by keeping it at your advantage is you don't want to be in a close range encounter with people with LMGs or assault rifles. Stay at a medium to long distance range and flank. This gives you the extreme advantage if you're the recon class. I hope you guys learned from this. If you did or you didn't, let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for more tutorials and more montages. Thanks for watching.